recently, I had the rare privilege to read your book, Nigeria, the Leadership Question. And I must be frank with you, Pastor. When I picked up that book, I actually picked it up with a good dose of silencing, not because I don't trust in the power of the words you put down there, but because like every other Nigerian, I've lost hope in Nigeria, seeing this multitude of compound, complex problems. But interestingly, when I was just at the introduction of the book, I think around the 27th page or about, I was already beginning to get drawn in, by the hope you seem to project with the book, the positivity, the positive vibes and everything just caught me right from the 27th page. So, Pastor, I want to ask you, what inspired you to write this book and why now?
It was about a year ago, I think, when I began to have some burden for Nigeria as a nation. Before then, I had lived in Europe for 30 years, and I never thought I would ever go back to Nigeria. As a matter of fact, I had made some very critical decisions that if some political force, political powers were to remain in Nigeria to rule in the country, that I would never even go there to visit anymore. Wow. And I would take all my relatives and everybody away from there, that we would never go back there again. I was going to change my passport if that happened, but thank God, it was like God was listening to me. I have more faith in the government of the day and the change that happened. And it was during the election that I started thinking that I just was surprised that I know so much. And because when I read what people say in Nigeria and the leaders, the political elite, and just ordinary people who write about the country, when I read what they say and when I listen to their opinions, I know that I know better. I know what it takes to be able to, fix a lot of these things people are talking about. And I see that, a lot of the things I know are not being totally expressed the way I could have done. So I began, that was why, in fact, I even wanted my friends to do what I ended up doing. I called a few friends and told them, you write articles, do something about Nigeria, because you are based there, you live in their country. So won't you consider to, write the position of Christians, positions of, then I discovered that all of the people I was calling, most of them were against my opinion actually. Most of them were for the previous government. And so they were, most Christians really. And so it was just the opposite. No one was ready to do what I was asking them to do. So then I had to do it. I had to remember my profession and my training as a journalist. So I started first by writing articles. So and unfortunately, some of those articles were political. So I started writing about the coming election in Nigeria, because that was the quest and the need of the day. So, but after writing all those articles, many people started telling me that why don't you put them in books? Why don't you put them in books? But this book is not a result of that. It's not what I wrote about in the articles. But I just decided that I would start with not the articles, or not putting the article just once into a book, but I will try to address the most critical question, as Nigerians say, the leadership question of the land. That's what, since I was a child, everybody always talk about leadership as the biggest problem of Nigeria. So I decided to share my own opinion about it. So that's why I decided to write this book, because I know that we are mistaken. The whole country is mistaken by saying our problem is just in leadership. But I know that Nigeria's problem is not in leadership. Leadership is secondary. But leadership is also one of our main problems, but not the main problem. We have a problem that is greater than that. But it will be difficult for people to believe that until they read this book.
Yes.